All right. There we go. We're recording. And three, two, one. Welcome, everybody, to our other bracket challenge for the Bracket Boys. It's me, Spiked Rob, and Spiked Johnny B, of course, your hosts for the Bracket Boys. And today we've got Tone coming over, obviously part of the Iron Ostrich Network, just like we are. And he is the legitimate, unanimous, bona fide women's basketball guru here to join us for the women's bracket today. What's going on, Tone?
How's it going, guys? Everything's going good for me. I finally got my first haircut since COVID started. So,
Nice.
um,
Well,
I
looks
should
good.
say I should say first official haircut. I let my kids shave a mohawk and did a couple other weird things, but
Nice.
first official actually feel like a human being haircut.
Nice.
Very cool. Well, I appreciate your style and haircut. I think we have we have similar barbers.
Definitely.
I need to get mine done. I don't even care. I've just let it go. So, Tony, what's your background in basketball? Why do you love the women's game so much?
So I love the women's game mostly because as unfortunately, my team is not doing super well. I mean, they're in the women's tournament. They're not in the men's tournament anymore. But I grew up a Michigan State fan. My grandparents are both worked at Michigan State for 40 years. My grandfather would unlock all the doors. So when I was like 3 and 4, I was a military brat. So every time my dad would go out to sea or whatever, we'd go live with my grandparents. And so when I was like 3, 4, 5, um, I'd wake up at like 3 in the morning, go down to the campus, help my grandfather unlock all the doors and everything, and end up in the Breslin Center shooting. And so ran across like a lot of the guys and the women and playing the sport. So I got to see a lot of that, and just really enjoyed basketball in general. My brother is the basketball player. I was the baseball player. But long story short, basically, like really found it with Rebecca Lobo and UConn. When we were moving from Nebraska to Virginia that summer, I actually wrote a letter to Rebecca Lobo in UConn, and she actually sent me a letter back. And ever since then, just follow the women's sport and the women's side, and I love it. Love the WNBA. Love all of that, and I think the technical aspect of it is really really interesting. It's not all dunks. It's not like you really see some good plays. I think it gets a bad rap. From a lot of people who don't necessarily watch the sport. They're just like, it's the women's version, so it's not as good. I think if you're a basketball purist, you definitely love the sport. So
Very cool. Well, and I mean, Tone, I know you haven't watched a lot of our shows, but Spiked focuses on college football, so this is already a little out of our wheelhouse. And I think Johnny will be the first to admit that women's basketball is not his forte. But
Hands up.
he's here. He's here because he's the pretty one, so it's all good. I will be sharing some of my UConn stories because I grew up in Connecticut, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Since UConn's definitely in the tournament,
Here
I
we
can
go
always
with
root for them.
UConn bullshit already.
They're only the number one overall rank.
I
Right?
really can't stand anything that comes out of that state. So you know how that happens.
Well, does that include Rob? Because I think
Apparently. He's from New York. It's
I can't stand the whole UConn thing. My uncle's a diehard UConn fan, even though he's from New York, and he should like Syracuse like a normal person. I grew up absolutely just hating everything about UConn.
That's fair. Every fan of UConn from New York really should take a second look in the mirror. But if you're from Connecticut, we don't have professional sports. We literally have UConn women's basketball, and that's it.
You had the Whalers.
Yeah, we fucked that up. The whole state screwed that up.
That's your fault.
Yeah, no, I agree. Anyway, all right. Why don't we just jump right into it and just see? I'm kind of just waiting to see the train wreck that Johnny's going to bring to the table. So this should be good. So we'll start at the top. We're going off of the no free ads, but we're using the ESPN ad
they're supposed to pay us before you say their name.
I know, but they're not going to. It's Disney. Anyway, it's okay. We did a whole Disney bracket, so we already kind of riffed off of their shit anyway. So, starting in the Alamo bracket, we've got Stanford versus Utah Valley. That's impressive. I didn't even know Utah Valley had a basketball team, period, end stop, much less a women's basketball team. So that's actually very impressive.
Yeah, it's that division has to be really weak. And I'll be honest, not like as a big women's college basketball fan. I've watched quite a bit of it. I didn't even know that was a team. So,
where is
and looking at the
Utah?
record, they're 13-6. So, and they must have won a division to get in. So that division has to be pretty weak.
Where would that Utah Valley be? I'm just curious about the geography of it. I'm trying to think.
It says they're in Orem, Utah.
Ah, duh. I've been there millions. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
I think Orem has a low single A baseball team too. So, you know,
Oh, geez.
rife with athletic talent there.
I'm going.
All right,
I'm gonna pick. It might be a little bit different, but I'm gonna pick Stanford.
I'm also going Stanford.
Yeah, I think, well, we only need 2 to move on, but you're not going to get any argument from me. Stanford moves on from the number 1 overall seed. All right, let's take a look at Oklahoma State versus Wake Forest, an 8 and 9 seed. What do you got for us, Tone?
So, Wake Forest is a sneaky team. They have a decent pedigree of like producing professional women's players.
Mhm.
So they're usually pretty tall, rebound well. I actually like Wake Forest in this matchup, even though they're like 500 for the season. But
I have that picked.
Yeah,
Wow.
and Oklahoma State, although they are an 8 seed, which is fairly high, they're 0-3 against top 25 opponents this year. So
Look at him bringing the stats. I'm going Wake Forest. I had it already down. I didn't even change it. It's right there on the phone. Just saying.
You got to turn down your brightness, and then the people at home.
Because if I'm lying, I don't want you to know if I'm lying or not.
That's smart move. Smart. I mean, it's very smart.
Hey, 8 versus 9 is always a toss-up. You both are going with Wake Forest. I'm not going to say no to that. I was interested in the 12-12 record. So is the ACC really strong this year in terms of the conference?
I believe. Yeah, I think Virginia is a high rank. There's a couple other teams in there. I know UNC's in the tournament. So yeah, they got a couple teams. I think they might have 4 or 5 teams in. So
okay, all right, very cool. Well, let's move on to the next one. So 2 teams that we normally don't see on the men's side: Missouri State as a 5 seed versus UC Davis with a 12 seed.
UC Davis is a perennial baseball school.
Yes, they are.
But they are 13-2 this year. Of course, Mo State is 21-2 this year. So
I'm gonna, just because they were my logo for high school, I'm going with Missouri State because they're the Bears, and that's cool.
I am also going with Missouri State. They're an impressive 16-0 conference record.
That is true.
What conference is that? The Missouri Valley? What is that? The Missouri Valley?
I would assume so. I mean, they beat Maryland by 9 as their last game. So
okay,
Maryland,
pretty impressive, or notable. One of their notable games.
Right. Okay. And then there we go. So our next one, they're going to be playing the winner of Arkansas versus Wright State, which I hope is in Ohio.
I think it is. Wright State gave Michigan State one of the worst losses ever in my childhood history, but
I remember that.
Sucked so bad. Yeah, this one's a toss-up. I mean, it's Arkansas is really good. I think they're just going to outscore them, though. It's going to be a sloppy game, though, probably.
I see. No defense.
When I remember a lot of women's tournaments, there's not that many upsets early on.
No. Yeah, there's not that many.
A 15 or 14 very often. So I'm gonna take Arkansas, but the upsets come like when the 5s play the 1s and like when the 6s play the 2s.
That is definitely true. And Arkansas is actually pretty good. They beat Baylor, who's I think is a 1 or 2 seed in this.
They also beat UConn this year, so I have to give them props for that and say that they'll probably prevail over Wright State.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Yeah, at least so far there's been a lot of upsets, so we'll see if the women follow suit. All right, so the next matchup, Oregon versus South Dakota, who are also the Bears. What is South Dakota's mascot? I can't even tell.
I think they are Bears. Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, Oregon's going to stomp the shit out of them.
So far, I've been chalk with him. So we're going on the same page.
I took my daughters to a Colorado Oregon game last year in live, and they have a lot of those same exact players, minus a couple of great ones. But I mean, they just run like a machine. It's ridiculous.
Nice. Okay. Our next matchup, Georgia versus Drexel. A 3 versus a 14.
Let's just shout out the the Philadelphia University of Drexel for getting both men and women's teams into the tournament. Very small school out of Philly. I'm a Northeast guy, blue collar city. I love Philly. Congratulations on losing both times, and because Georgia's going to win.
My first college start pitching was against Drexel.
How'd you do?
I threw like a 2-hitter. But
so you're expecting something similar from Georgia, basically just shot.
Yeah. I mean, they're playing a much harder conference. And I think of like Drexel's best win is against like the College of Elon or something like that. So
people forget you. That's not a terrible.
Yeah, I mean they're just going to get outclassed in this one, but I think Georgia gets that one pretty handily.
I'm sure Elon is South Carolina's 12th greatest college football school. The state.
I mean, got to be known for
probably
something.
The third or fourth best women's.
They have a budding rivalry with the Citadel, though. That's a good game. That's for college football, but that's a good rivalry.
All right,
can't beat that.
Well, our next matchup is going to be between two schools who are pretty relevant in college football, and they're 7 and 10 seeds. So Northwestern is playing UCF. How is that?
I can't root for the uppity snobs from the suburb of Chicago, so I have to go UCF. And we're in Florida, and I'm going UCF. And
I was actually going to go UCF as well. So
we're just on the same page right now. If he was the pitcher and I was a catcher, we'd be calling a a great game.
Yeah, we're a great battery. We're a great battery.
We're right there, Rob.
I do notice.
Thoughts on the game, Rob?
Well, so I do notice that UCF holds opponents to under 50 points a game. Now, I know that the women's game typically is lower scoring, but most of these it's 60 points, maybe 70. I have not seen a team hold on average opposing teams to 49.9 points a game. So that, to me, I feel like if you guys say the UCF's got a good shot, I'm going to go with it. Defense championships, right?
I think they're definitely gonna hold. I mean, it's gonna be a lower scoring game, and then it'll be close, I think, though. But
they'll play towards their strengths, basically.
But it plays towards their strengths, and and I mean, and they're 1-2 against top 25 opponents. So I mean, they know how to play bigger teams.
Okay. Well, the last matchup in that bracket, in that corner of the bracket, is number 2 Louisville, another ACC team, versus Marist.
It's pronounced Louisville.
Louisville.
Okay, my thoughts on this. I'm going to go against the grain here. I got recruited to play baseball at Marist. My buddy pitched at Marist. I had 3 buddies that played football at Marist. They're probably not going to win, but I'm going with the Red Foxes, and I'm going with Marist, the local hometown college of New York for me. I'm going with Marist.
Oh, boy. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead with Louisville. And keep pronouncing it that way until they prove me wrong and lose or something. But I mean, I feel like they're just going to overwhelm them. Unfortunately, another team, Marist, holds their opponents to 50 points flat a game. But Louisville averages almost 79 points a game. So
something's got to give.
Tone, what do you think?
Surprisingly enough, I'm going with the upset in this one.
We are just on a wow of a page.
I got a feeling about the Foxes. I think they're gonna do some stuff. I think they're gonna get that, and I think they could actually make a deep run. I'm gonna call that.
Wow.
Hey, Marist, low key, the girls that always make the tournament, and they usually do pretty decent.
Are they usually a 15 seed? Is that pretty low?
They're usually like a 12 seed or a 10 seed.
Gotcha.
I've never seen them be that low of a seed at 15.
Gotcha. So they might be.
I think that might be on. I think in actual life, I think they're closer seeded.
Yeah, they're the American East. What they play in is usually a good conference. Not great, like an A10 for the guys.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, not good. Not great, not bad though. Yeah, for sure.
A10 teams can really disrupt the tournament though. So we're going to go with, we saw a 15 upset of 2 today in the men's tournament. We're going to call one for the women's on this side. Let's go Foxes. All right. So moving on to the next corner of the bracket, the hemisphere bracket, we've got South Carolina, the 1 seed, versus Mercer at 16. We're looking for an upset, guys.
No.
No, I heard on the live stream I was watching the Barstool guys. Brandon Walker knows a lot about college women's basketball, and he said South Carolina is a fucking horse. And
Yeah.
they're just, so I'm going with that.
South Carolina's beasts.
Yeah. Only notable loss I see on there for South Carolina is losing to UConn by 4.
Rob, you can just kind of work in UConn and every other line.
Oh, we're going to get there. Well, because we're already, angling, since we're doing the whole tournament tonight, we're already angling for who's going to be in our Final Four, who's going to be the big matchups. And that one, I think South Carolina versus UConn's been a fairly common back and forth. So,
It's not, pull the cart before the horse or whatever that says.
All right. Well, let's keep going. We've got number 8 Oregon State versus number 9 Florida State. Pretty good matchup in apparently all sports. So, Tone, what do you got for this?
I'm torn on this one, but I'm leaning Oregon State way. They score more points. They're a worse defense, but they've played a number of more top ranked opponents.
This is my thoughts on this. It's truly nothing to do with basketball. It's just gambling. Oregon State doesn't win 2 games in the same day in the same sport. So I'm going with Florida State because that's just how life works.
After Oregon State had a great upset today, all right?
Yeah, it's not going to happen. They're not winning twice. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen.
So that's the reason. Well, okay.
Yes.
So my
theories have worked so far in our men's bracket. My theories have worked.
Not all of them. You picked Michigan State.
I
you
didn't
picked
say
to win the play-in game.
I didn't say which one. I said theories.
You went, Parker. You should have seen him. He was just like, it's January, February, Izzo, April.
That's what they say.
I was the same way. I had him. I mean, I'm a homer, but I mean, I had him making a deep run.
And I get it. It just.
By the way, speaking of that, I was asking somebody yesterday, and maybe you guys know, why the fuck is there an 11 playing game?
I don't know. They do that because
that's the most random ass shit ever.
That's the highest.
Because isn't the other 11 team basically a fucking 12 seed?
Yeah, because I guess.
Am I allowed to curse on this podcast? Okay.
That's the fucking. But it's because I think that's the last 2 teams that were in on the bubble.
Oh, okay.
Because they're always the big name school.
Because those other higher seeds are
all conference winners.
The winners that
gotcha. That makes more sense. Okay.
Yeah, but it's to buff those big conferences so that they have, like I said, this year UCLA versus Michigan State. I mean, literal they have to be in the tournament.
Yeah, it'd be crazy if UCLA actually makes a run because they would win the most games ever to win a title.
That's true.
No one's ever come from there.
Rob, go ahead, make a fucking UConn statement right now. Do it.
I'm not going to make a UConn. No, I would never do that. No, what I'm going to say is that as a Miami fan, I'm not going to pick Florida State if it's a toss-up because fuck Florida State.
So Oregon State moves on.
Oregon State is our pick. Again, 8 versus 9. All right. Now we have Georgia Tech versus SF Austin, Stephen F. Not Stephen A. Stephen F. Austin.
My same exact logic that I just used. I'm going to reverse it. Georgia Tech is not losing 2 games in the same thing in the same round, so I'm going Georgia Tech because that's how life works.
They'll pick it up for the men.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fair. That's fair.
What do you got, Tone?
I was actually leaning potentially to go with an upset here. I actually kind of like SF Austin. They score a lot of points. They hold teams to low points. I just watched Jackson State make the tournament, and they beat them by 30 earlier this year.
Wow.
So didn't they make a run a couple years ago too?
Who, SF Austin?
Yeah.
They had, I think they had like a Sweet 16 bid, I believe. Yeah. So they're actually a pretty decent team. And Georgia Tech's always kind of funky for me, but they have some good wins too. But yeah, I don't know. I'm on the fence, like legit on the fence on this one.
So he was picking Stephen F. Austin just to make it interesting, just to give Rob a little insight. Rob, go ahead, make the deciding call here, bud.
Oh boy. So
take all the pressure off of the expert and put it all on you.
I know. This is why I should stop asking Tone what he thinks. I'm just going to keep jumping in before he says anything.
That's why I do that, so I don't look like I never lose that way. Don't you notice that?
But you do lose all the
No,
time. You convince me to do shit all the time, and it's wrong.
Yeah, but it's still fun.
It's never not fun. I mean, if it wasn't fun, we wouldn't be doing the show. So, all right, here's what I'll go with. I'm gonna do 5 seconds of research, but Georgia Tech. I mean, first of all, they were supposed to be really strong on the men's side, and they lost by 11 today. I did not get to see the game, so
the best player got COVID, so chill on that.
Like right before the game, or we already knew that.
Yeah. A couple hours before.
Couple hours before.
He
Justin Turnered it. They pulled him off the court.
Yeah, they pulled him off the court. Pay attention to what's going on.
So,
okay, right. So maybe we already knew that, but it doesn't matter.
Well, then why didn't you fucking say something?
Because I didn't hear about it until after we did our podcast, and I don't want to look like an asshole.
Yeah, that's there you go. Well, okay, so here's what I'm going to go with. The league that Stephen F is in, I'm just trying to see if I recognize any of the teams because they went 14-0 in conference play. You just swept it. So I'm just trying to see.
They're in like the Southland.
What's that? It's it's Southland.
Yeah, I know my conferences, bro.
You do. So besides teams like Lamar, McNeese State, Nichols State,
the Cowboys of McNeese State.
Yeah. Sam Houston. They also have Incarnate Word.
Incarnate Word. The Cardinals.
Such a great. If it's Incarnate Word, why would you go with a bird? I don't know.
By the way, just so you know, they're called the team mascot they're called the Lady Jacks. If that makes any. Just saying.
Yeah, Rob, make a pick. Stop trying.
Well, I'm just saying with such a strong conference. No, I can't. I can't pick Steven based on the fact that they're 14-0 conference play. Yeah, I mean that's great. They went 14-0, have 80 points a game, 50 points allowed. It doesn't seem like they've played. I mean, they played 2 top 25 teams. So I'm going to go with Georgia Tech on this one. Maybe not to go very far, but I think they can handle Stephen.
No, that's a good choice because I was going to tell you, Incarnate Word sent me football letters when I was in school, so they can't be that good.
We'll have you know that they also, like a couple of years ago, literally beat a number 3 seed in the first round and then lost to a 6 seed by like 1 point in the second round. So
I remember that.
They have some
okay.
They have some history beating some teams.
Even if Austin does good in tournaments.
Yeah, I get that.
By the way, the only other time they've also been a 12 seed and they won. By the way.
Oh, well,
he's just telling you. He is just car salesman. I you know what?
Look, I made my pick.
I'm switching my vote to Stephen F. Austin.
Oh my God.
Stephen F. Austin moves on. I can be bought, Rob. I forgot.
I forgot.
I have integrity, but I can be bought.
I forgot that the name of this show was "Make Rob Look Like a Moron."
Yes, that's the underlining caption of every time I post it. Don't you?
Hey, it's a win-win for you because if Stephen F wins now, like you're all along with the ride, and if not, you can be like, these two are fucking idiots.
Yeah,
we just made it a win-win for you.
And then I somehow turned around on social media like it was your fault anyway, so that I win.
I mean, you try. Well, we'll just have to get enough of a following that people might actually believe it. All right. We've got a couple more in this side of the bracket. We've got West Virginia versus Lehigh.
I'm going with Press Virginia because you know how I feel about that school.
I definitely feel like I don't. To be honest, like I can't think of any notable women's college basketball players from West Virginia. So that's.
But they did have Kevin Pittsnoggle on the men's side.
That is true.
He will never let that go.
Kevin Pittsnoggle was probably my favorite player as a young.
That's a great name. I mean, too.
It's the greatest name. 6'9" white dude that could shoot threes. Way before his time.
Just saying. Fair enough. I mean,
all right. So West Virginia goes through because Johnny just has this hard on for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I think that's a solid choice, though. I mean,
it does help that it's a 4 seed versus a 13.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, I didn't even see that. I thought West Virginia wasn't the favorite. My bad.
Our next matchup, Texas versus Bradley, which I believe
Missouri Valley.
Yeah.
I think they're the Indians. I think.
Maybe. But so, Do we have any thoughts, Tone?
Texas is just good all around usually. I mean, they also have the consensus, I think, number one pick, WNBA wise. So they're probably going to win.
And what did I say in the men's tournament? Whenever you have the one person, just like today when Oklahoma State was struggling, someone came through and won the game for them. So if that's what it is on the women's side, I'm going with Texas.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to go Texas.
All right, fair enough. They're going to play the winner of UCLA versus Wyoming.
Yeah.
Low-key great uniforms in Wyoming, but I'm going with Ucla.
Wyoming true Cinderella story. This is the first time they've ever been to the tournament.
Wow. Well, we got to
give my pick. I'm going Wyoming.
That doesn't mean I'm picking Wyoming, but
I like the story. You just said that first time ever. I'm going Ucla.
I'm definitely gonna go UCLA on this one. I think they're the more dominant team by far.
Rob, make a pick.
I'm gonna go with UCLA because
good choice.
Yeah, because the Cinderella story. I mean, it's already the story to get to the tournament. So,
yeah,
how much more do you have in the tank to take on a number 3 seed? All right.
As much as I want Wyoming to win, because my good friend comedian Brant Tobler is like the mayor of fucking Wyoming, and also UCLA just knocked out my Michigan State Spartans.
But Rob, just like Mike the Situation always says, you didn't just come this far just to come this far. Just saying.
Oh, I didn't know he was Yogi Berra's kid.
Shut up.
All right.
90% of the game is half mental, okay?
2 more matchups in this corner of the bracket. We have Alabama versus North Carolina. Number 7 versus number 10.
Since I can't ever pick them in any sport and I hate them, let's go North Carolina.
I like saying you're going to pick against Alabama, right?
I just can't pick them.
This is a tight one. They're like the most evenly matched matchup.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I'm going with prestige here because the women in UNC are always better than the women in Alabama. That's literally nothing this year, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, historically, they have always been very strong. They were the lower seed this year. So,
yeah.
So, Tone, what are you trying to balance between?
So, North Carolina plays, like in a tougher division. So, obviously they're gonna have some. I don't know. Their record's going to reflect a little different. They do have more wins against top 25 teams, but like they literally score the same amount of points per game, and they basically give up pretty close to the same amount of points per game. So, but Alabama does give up more points, and they're 1-8 against top 25 opponents. So, let's go UNC.
All right. I'm going to highlight, and I agree with UNC. I'm going to highlight one game that I saw. They beat Georgia Tech. Talking about by 25.
Yeah.
North Carolina can and will turn up the heat, and I think that's something that they need to play someone like North Alabama in the tournament. So, all right. Maryland versus Mount St. Mary's.
Okay, since Mount St. Mary's is again close to my heart because it's close to me. And I'm just gonna keep picking every 15 seed because I should have done that last time. And I'm going Mount St. Mary's. You guys are probably gonna vote it down. I don't blame you. Probably a good choice, but I'm going Mount St. Mary's.
Maryland. I'm picking Maryland before Tone says anything. He gets the pressure this time.
I think this was pretty easy. I mean, Mount St. Mary's hasn't played a single top 25 opponent. Maryland's scoring 91.3 points per game. And Mount St. Mary's big win is against Howard by 4, and Howard doesn't look that great.
Howard's a good team. They're in that conference that they're in the 8th. No, I don't even know what they're in.
They're in the MEAC.
Yep, I forgot the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference.
Yeah, they lost to Jackson State and didn't make the tourney. And Jackson State looked okay, but they got shellacked by like another team by like 30. So Maryland easily.
Probably good choice for bettors. Just saying. I got to go on my heart there.
Understood. I'm liking how you're rooting for you're voting with your heart, so that's good. All right. Speaking of which, we're at the Riverwalk section of the tournament. Number 1 seed UConn versus High Point I've never heard of High Point.
Give me High Point. My buddy Chase Dulitz, starting pitcher at High Point in North Carolina. It's in the mountains of North Carolina. I like High Point. Give me High Point. I believe they're the Eagles. They're purple. Purple looks good on me. It makes my green eyes pop. Fuck UConn. I hate UConn. Gino's a fucking cheater. Fuck him.
It's fair. But his players are really fucking good.
Because he cheats and gives
Get
them
all
money.
these players. I know. Because there's no cap. They don't.
He's the Calipari. He's the Calipari of women's basketball.
Well,
I don't know. I don't know about that. I mean,
they played the whole time. But it's
come
fine.
on.
All right.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't. Oops. Shoot. I almost muted myself. That's how bad High Point is. Yeah. UConn. High Point should just stay on the bus.
Have you been to their campus? If this was campuses,
Oh yeah.
Sucks. High Point is beautiful.
Yeah. Stores is terrible. I agree with that.
And they have a really good baseball team, but obviously UConn's going to win the game.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, I mean, I would to make this game more even. I would prefer if Paige Buckets just played 1-on-5 against High Point,
and still probably win.
If I even know who she is, that's how.
Yeah,
true freshman. God.
Yeah. I mean, anytime you're going to UConn and you're breaking all-time UConn records, like you're setting yourself up for a long career.
Facts.
To UConn.
This is great though, because the way that they set up the bracket, Johnny, the UConn will be playing the winner of Syracuse at the 8th seed versus South Dakota State.
So Syracuse, bud. Let's get real here.
So we can have the Syracuse UConn matchup that we want, that we're not going to get in the men's tournament.
Yeah, because UConn's not going to get that far.
Probably not. No, you're worried. You're saying that Patino is going to take them out, so we'll see how that goes.
I did. Yes, you're damn right. But I like Syracuse here because the women's team is usually pretty good. I followed them a little more closely than any other team. Women's team is usually pretty good. They always play good competition, and I believe that they are going to make a Sweet 16 run. And I don't really care what you have to say about your stupid UConn Huskies.
All right, Tone, you going to tell them or am I?
I mean, we can both tell them together. San Diego State's going to beat them, or South Dakota State. My bad. San Diego State might beat them too, but
got ran out of the building by the men's team. They got ran out of the building, and they said, "Sorry, Syracuse, we don't belong in the team."
South Dakota State is an underrated good team.
I'm going to throw some stats out there.
Stupid ones.
One of the teams is 3-0 versus top 25. One of the teams is 0-3 versus top 25. One of the teams went undefeated in their conference, 14-0. The other one went just above 500. Granted, they are wildly different conferences.
Numbers always lie, don't you? Didn't you remember that old ESPN?
Isn't that the show? Numbers always lie.
One of these teams beat Gonzaga's men's team. No, okay. But they did beat Gonzaga.
I was going to say, is that a real thing? Then I might.
One of these teams lost to Georgia Tech. You know, the other team that we got crushed by 30 by North Carolina, and that team is Syracuse. So 8 versus 9. Honestly, I really do think that South Dakota State has a better shot. We'll see if they show up. You know, it's all about going out there and putting on the floor. But yeah, I'm thinking that South Dakota State is going to beat Syracuse.
I'm agreeing.
So, the next matchup, Iowa back in it against Central Michigan.
The Chippewas.
Yeah. So are we going Big Ten again, guys, after the embarrassment that happened today?
I'm terrified too, but I'm going to go with Iowa and the Iowa ladies.
I think
I'm terrified to pick the Big Ten in anything ever again.
Iowa does have the, I believe, the leading point scorer average on their team, and she's also a freshman. So,
damn,
so pretty good. Although she wasn't up for any of the major awards this year for some stupid reason. But Iowa, I'm going to go Iowa.
And Hawkeyes are just cooler than Chippewas. Let's be real.
That's true. I mean,
maybe
like
by
the way, low key two decent college football teams.
Yeah, yeah. I would even give it Central Michigan not over Iowa because I don't like the Big Ten football. We can go. If you listen to Spikes, you know that too.
I mean, if you, you get some good receivers out of Central Michigan. You got some good tight ends out of Iowa. I mean, that's a solid offense.
Rob, Rob, it doesn't matter. We're going Iowa. Your
I'm
vote
going
doesn't count.
Iowa. Okay. They're going to play the winner of Kentucky versus Idaho State.
Idaho State. I'm not picking them. I'm just saying I believe that's where, what's his name went? I forgot. He was a football player. It doesn't matter. Kentucky's winning.
Are they also?
Are they what?
Idaho State's mascot also a tiger? Please.
Yeah. There's tons of tigers in Idaho, Rob. You've never been there? They run wild through the potato fields.
But the other more dominant athletic school in that state are the Vandals. They actually pick something random.
Actually, they're the Broncos.
Well, yes.
The Vandals are legit though.
But that's like at least a legitimate mascot.
Yeah. Well, Rob,
there are Broncos out there.
When teams get lazy, they just like to use the Tigers. That's what they do.
Oh my god.
That is fair.
Not alone, not rooting for Idaho State.
No, I can't go to Idaho State.
All right.
Yeah, definitely go Kentucky there.
Moving on to Michigan. Sorry, just Michigan.
God, I fucking hate Michigan.
FGCU.
As a Southwest Florida guy now, as one of the greatest teams probably to ever take the tournament by storm in the men's league, the women are going to do the same. Maybe they'll throw down some dunks like the guys did. Fantastic colors. They get to sleep in hotels on the beach. Who doesn't want to go to FGCU? Who doesn't want to go? And you know what? And Michigan is from fuck Michigan. To be completely honest with you, in every sport, they just suck at everything. They think they're great at everything. I just hate them.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. As a Michigan State fan, I fucking hate Michigan.
So are we going with the upset?
So there's part of me that does really think there could be an upset. So we picked UCF earlier over Northwestern, and both those teams are 7 and 10 seeds, and they both shellacked. It looks like.
Look at the points per game for FGCU. That means they're just like the guys before. They run up and down the court. And
okay, actually, that literally just actually sealed it for me. So FGCU beat UCF, who we picked earlier to win, over Northwestern, who beat Michigan.
Yeah.
See?
So,
and look at the record. They've played 28 games. They won 26. That doesn't matter if you're playing Sister Mary Elephant School of the Blind. That's still a win. And you played 28 and you won 2. And the points per game. Yes, don't shut up. They 82 points a game and holding their opponents to under 60.
I'm in. Look, I'm on board. Dunk City. Bring it back.
Love it. It's Dunk City, but it's going to be Layup City for the girls. Let's go.
I don't know. They might have a 7-footer. You don't know. No.
Probably.
I'm with you. I'm with you, actually, on that one.
Sweet. The upset is in. Now, moving on to another team that we never should have fucking picked in the men's tournament, Tennessee versus Middle Tennessee.
We did pick them. Fuck. We said we shouldn't. We did say that we shouldn't do it.
We said we shouldn't pick them. Purdue just kept going.
And we did it anyway because we're assholes. So I'm not making the same mistake twice. No, I am. I'm going to go with Tennessee and the Heritage. And I mean, it's the women. The women are just better than the guys.
It is the Lady Volunteers.
I think the Lady Volunteers beat the men's Volunteers 9 out of 10 times.
Well, they actually used to back in the day. They actually used to
10 out of 10 times. Yeah.
The Lady Volunteers historically actually practice against men.
Yes.
Like play actual against men. So
Pat made her.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, I'm going Tennessee all the way. Yeah, they beat Alabama by 26 earlier this year.
Well,
yeah, give me Tennessee.
I mean,
we didn't pick Alabama, right? I'm glad we.
No, we didn't. I think we beat them. We had them as a.
All right.
We had them losing.
Yeah. All right.
Thank
God. Virginia Tech versus Marquette. Very strong pedigreed schools.
Same reason that I have my logic. Virginia Tech is a very well-known, respected athletic school. They will not lose in the first round in 2 tournaments. Give me the ladies. Give me the Lady Hokies.
Right. I mean, I will point out that Marquette, besides playing UConn 3 times, they went 1-1 against top 25 competition. But I also am totally fine with picking Virginia Tech.
Yeah, I can't argue either way. Yeah, like if you guys were going to give me a split decision, that would have been tough. But I will gladly go Virginia Tech with you guys.
Cool. Hokies move on.
I missed an opportunity to put Tone in a bind. Oh well.
Oh yeah,
it's all good.
Yeah.
The last one in this bracket, and we're looking. I mean, Baylor. We already talked about them earlier. Jackson State. We already talked about them earlier.
Well, you know where I'm going with this one.
Well,
I'm riding prime time. Give me prime time. Bring in big dollar bills to all of the athletics at Jackson State. Give me the swag. The swag rubs off. I don't care what you guys say. In every sport, when there's a team at a college that is going hot or becoming, well known, everybody becomes well known because you don't want to be the team that loses because then you're the losers on campus. Give me Jackson State in a huge upset. Jackson State wins. Then they win the FCS championship. And then Jackson State moves up to a complete Division I school in the SEC. Give me Jackson State. That's going to happen. I know Baylor.
1 year.
I know Baylor's going to move on, but I have to give a fight.
You already talked about it earlier, Tone. I mean, I know what you're picking.
To be 1,000%. Like I do like Jackson State. I want Jackson State to win. I do. And they could if they shot better, but Baylor's just too dominant.
Yes, they are. That's the right pick. I have to give the other side just to.
I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong on it though.
I'm hoping that we're wrong as well because that means that UConn can really roll to the Final Four. But
wow, it's always about UConn.
I'm going to pick Baylor as well. All right. So the last corner of the bracket that we have not touched yet, Mercado. We start with NC State versus NCAA.
From the SWAC. Don't know why they're in the SWAC.
I don't either, to be honest with you.
They're HBCU.
Yeah.
NC State, don't know nothing about them. Phillip Rivers, love him. Russell Wilson, love him. I don't know anything about the women's basketball program, but North Carolina basketball, Duke's usually really good. UNC is usually really good. Wake Forest is usually good. NC State's usually good. They just get athletes that play good basketball for women in the state of North Carolina. So give me North Carolina State.
Yeah. I mean, there's really no arguing with that.
What is the last one seed? So,
NC A&T did beat Elon by 16 points earlier this year.
Consistently proving again that they play better basketball in North Carolina than they do in South Carolina. every side. All right. The 8 and 9 is USF versus Washington State. Bulls and Cougars. So,
I mean, everybody that's listened to the pod so far knows where I'm going. I'm a homer. I'm going to pick the homer team. So give me the Bulls at USF.
I'm fine with that. Tone, do you have any strong objections?
No, I think we're good on that one. I just find it absolutely fascinating. I'm a numbers guy that Washington State allows 63.7 points per game and also scores 63.7 points per game.
Impressive. I just saw the stat. That'll get you a 12 and 11 record.
That's right. Yeah. They have played 24 games. I'm pretty sure
their conference record is 9 and 10. So they're just flirting with mediocrity.
Yeah, mediocre team. You get they shouldn't even be a 9 seed. They should be like a fucking 14 seed.
All right. We have number 5 Gonzaga versus number 12 Belmont. Gosh, if we looked at this in the men's side too, you'd just be like, oh, upset central. Maybe not this year, but in general, just seeing it in years past, Gonzaga versus Belmont, holy shit.
I'm going with the Belmont Bruins. Why? Because Bruin is a bear, They're red and blue, like my, the jersey. I got my jersey retired from high school. Not a big deal, but they're red and blue, and they were the Bears. And again, nothing about college women's basketball. What I'm gonna watch, and I'm gonna root. Give me the Belmont Bruins.
I mean, they're playing another team that's red and blue. They're Bulldogs.
Are they the Bruins? Are they the Bears? No, they're a stupid bulldog. Everybody's a bulldog.
Where's your dog?
My dog's right here, and he's not a bulldog. He's a pit bull. That is different. He's much prettier.
Fair enough.
Oh my god! All right, tell him what he got.
I'm going Belmont.
Yeah, what's up, Paul? Now, did my arguments have you persuaded, or did you have your mind made up?
I mean, I was definitely like on the fence, but I was just looking at the notable results for Gonzaga, and I was like, they lost to South Carolina. They split with BYU. South Dakota beat them, and then South Dakota State, they lost, or they beat South Dakota, and they lost South Dakota State. So, I mean, they're not even that good.
Underwhelming.
I think they're overrated because the men are good. And that's coming from absolutely no facts. That's just me knowing how people rate people on these things. And that's literally history. That's
fair.
They do that, though.
That's the psychology behind it.
Gotcha. I like it. I mean, I like that. I like that theory. But yeah, I think. I mean, that looks like an upset.
All right,
yes.
Then that's what we got. It looks like an
upset.
Like
a duck, it quacks like a duck. It probably is a duck.
Exactly.
So, our next matchup: number 4 Indiana versus number 13 VCU. Again, if we saw this on the men's side, man. Except I don't even know if Indiana made the tournament this year.
Indiana sucks at basketball for the men's side. Like they're really bad.
They are bad.
Yeah.
So for that reason alone, I actually don't like Big Ten teams except for Michigan State because I mean they're the blue collar team. I like Illinois because they're not that uppity like everybody else, and I love Indiana because they have the greatest campus in the Big Ten. That campus is drop dead gorgeous. Give me Indiana.
And they're going to be put up on state.
And if you go to KOK, Kilroy's, great bar. I mean, this has nothing to do with college women's basketball.
Yeah, we're off.
The women are all beautiful. So give me Indiana.
Jesus.
What they are. I can't help myself.
I would agree with that. If they're representing the state of Indiana for basketball at this point, they're going to show up, at least for the first round.
Especially because the guys never do.
That's
I don't get a dog in the fight because you guys both picked Indiana, but I think VCU wins this game.
Ooh, noted. Asterisks. Every time we did this yesterday, fucking came back to bite us. So
their number one player has the same name as my wife.
So we're picking VCU. No, we're picking VCU because every time we did this shit, we lost. Rob, you're right. We're picking VCU because we're gonna go with the expert. We're not gonna. No, we're gonna second guess ourselves and go with the expert.
We are gonna bet against
every single time this happened. The only games that we lost are the games that we did this shit.
Yeah, pretty much.
VCU.
All right. VCU it is. Let's go Rams.
All right.
Richmond, Virginia in the house.
So we've got Rutgers, number 60, versus BYU.
Rutgers. They're not allowed to have sex at BYU. They're not allowed to go to dances. All they can do is soak. They can't have any fun. And now in COVID, they can't even do that. Rutgers, I think the momentum thing, the men just won their first game in 38 years since my Uncle Bill was at college. He's 56 now. Their first ever win in a tournament for the men's. That's momentum. The girls are all texting the guys like, hey, you're next. Give me Rutgers.
And I think you did call that, Johnny.
I did call that because I'm fantastic at doing this, but yeah, I digressed.
Except when you convinced me, Izzo. Anyway.
God damn.
That game doesn't even count because they weren't even on the thing yet.
That's not even the tournament game, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't count. Practice.
You then called them to win after that.
We're talking about practice.
Oh my God.
Not a game. Practice.
Exactly.
All right, let's talk about this. Arizona, number 3 seed versus Stony Brook.
Wait, are we putting Rutgers through?
Yeah,
for sure.
Okay, good.
By the way, I was going to go on this rant about how you just gave an Allen Iverson reference, and he's from the 757, which is Virginia. and Rutgers as averaging 75.7 points. So Rutgers wins.
See, they're winning the whole tournament.
Illuminati. All right. Well, let's talk about Arizona for a second. I don't believe any men's team, Arizona team, was in the tournament, right? Did I miss that?
Not one school from the state of Arizona.
No, I didn't see any.
Yeah, and I've heard tell.
Actually, that's not true. I believe could be wrong. Grand Canyon was in, and they are from Arizona.
Oh, Grand Canyon, yes, yeah.
Representing. But so Arizona, the women in Arizona, first of all, very attractive women that go to Arizona.
That's Arizona State. Don't get it confused.
Both.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, Arizona State. All I'm going to say on that is Arizona State's SAT qualifications are a little bit lower, so we all know what that means.
Yeah,
fair. But I'm just saying that the women in general very attractive, but they're also a 3 seed here, so I find that team very attractive to beat Stony Brook.
No, I like Stony Brook. I'm a New Yorker. I'm riding with the New Yorkers. Funny quick story. I got high in college during baseball season because I played football. We went down there, visited my buddies. I got high on the 50-yard line at Stony Brook. Stoned at Stony Brook. It's meant to be. Clearly, Arizona.
To do with the women's basketball team.
Everything, Rob. Everything. People like this.
He one of the people who was smoking weed was on the women's basketball team.
Yeah, obviously she was like 12 years old at the time, and she was just watching. Duh. Arizona goes through. I get it.
It changed life forever.
Yeah. Arizona just has athletes. Like their fucking softball team's tall. I guarantee you their fucking basketball team's tall. So Arizona.
Jenny Finch, people forget.
Jenny Finch. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, she is not tall.
She's fucking amazing.
Yes. But just for the record, guys, like she is not tall, but she is amazing.
Her hair's like 4 foot long, so she's got to be at least 5'2".
That's true. They also had Kat Osterman as well.
Yes, they got Osterman, the lefty.
Yeah, see, I'm a lefty, so I'm rock with that.
I low key love women's softball at college. Low key love it.
By the way, they also just recently had like a super good other pitcher as well, but I forgot her name. But
I'll have to check it out. I love
once again, what does this have to do with women's basketball?
Because Rob, if you listen to the men's podcast, I did this exact same shit for the men.
By the way, Arizona softball, women's sport, breed excellence in women.
He gets it. He gets what Bracket Boys is about. See?
Exactly. Yeah.
You gotta if you don't know exactly what you're talking about, you gotta fake it.
Also, you can't go against a team that has it covered from A to Z. So.
Okay, that might be the best line in Bracket Boys history.
We're gonna see what happens when they play Rutgers in the next round.
That fucking Stony Brook wins.
All I'm saying. You guys are playing this up so much. I'm fine with Arizona. I fucking introduced it as like this is a good thing. I find their team attractive on paper. Anyway, but you got to play it up now. Got it covered from A to Z. Jesus Christ. All right. Now, all the way at the end, we get to the main event, in my opinion, for Tone. So he's going to take this one away. Iowa State, 7 seed versus number 10 Michigan State. Lay it on us.
Iowa State hasn't had a good player since Marcus Pfizer. Michigan State.
I was going to ask an inappropriate question, so I don't think I'm just gonna pass.
No, but for real, Michigan State is like they're like should be better. I actually watched quite a bit of their games. They're actually a really good team. Depends on who shows up, but they should beat Iowa State.
Now, I have a question. Do you know their starting 5?
Not by name, no. I know some of them, but
okay. How many are blonde and how many are brunette? Because that's how I'm going to determine my pick.
I think they're a predominantly brunette team.
Michigan State wins, obviously.
Definitely.
Sorry, Rob. You know how it is.
Well, here's the question I have for you, Tone.
Okay.
Iowa State beat Baylor
did
by 4 this season.
That is true.
Even a blind squirrel finds an acorn every now and again.
Well, so my question is, like, is that something that we can pass over that Iowa State? I mean, is that why they're a 7 seed because they beat Baylor once?
Yeah, but then they lost to everybody else.
I mean, they did beat West Virginia as well, but
West Virginia.
Yeah. But the thing is that so they lost 10 games though.
Mm.
I mean,
Yeah, I understand.
I mean,
That's what I mean. Is it like that's why they're ranked
If
high?
we put your stupid UConn team through, we're putting Michigan State through. Next.
We didn't put Syracuse through. That's all.
although Michigan State did just disappoint me, so I'm just gonna quickly look up Iowa State's fucking schedule to see who they lost to.
Look up how many brunettes Iowa State has on the starting five.
But I mean, Iowa, they probably have all brunettes.
All blonde. Oh yeah.
Maybe some blondes though. I mean, let's be.
I'm telling you, it's a big blonde community in Iowa.
Let's see. I just pulled up their team roster. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 out of 12 are blonde.
See, Michigan State's winning, Rob.
That's true. I mean, I might have to go with them, to be honest with you. They did lose the They did lose to Texas. I don't know.
A bunch. I think they lost 3 times to Texas. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, I get it. I'm just curious why they were ranked higher than Michigan State, because they don't look very impressive, except for they beat Baylor once. So that was the only question I really wanted to ensure that was on here. So if you get disappointed twice, we can at least point to they lost to a team that beat Baylor.
I know. So I know for a fact. I'm looking it up now. They lost by like 20 to fucking South Carolina. They lost by 2 to Iowa, which is a decent go at it. But the big one that points out that pops out at me here is they only beat Omaha by 16 points, and Omaha is like the worst fucking women's basketball team.
Oh, geez.
Like 357th. So yeah, I'm going Michigan State.
All right, fair enough. I love that deep dive just to make sure that we pick the homer pick.
I just want to make sure.
So, all right, so I guess
by the way, if Michigan State loses, I'm no longer watching basketball again. So over.
Pretty here. So we'll roll into the next part, which is Michigan State playing the number 2 seed Texas A&M, and what do you think is going to happen?
A&M.
A&M is going to move on to play Michigan State.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Dude,
Johnny Manziel versus Kirk Cousins. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I think actually low key, I think Texas A&M might be a dark horse in this fucking tournament
as a 2 seed. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're in the Connecticut bracket, so they got to get past Connecticut to get the championship game.
They did beat South Carolina and Arkansas twice, and Kentucky, and Texas,
and LSU.
Oh shit! Yeah, I'm taking Tech. Holy shit!
They might win it all.
A lot of notable results. 9-1 against top 25 teams for sure.
Yeah.
No, I am totally fine with that. I think that Texas A&M has a very good team. My question is like, well, we'll get there. You know what? Let's go to the round of 32, and we'll end with that question for Tone.
Let's do how we did yesterday, where we just do the speed round of 32. Because
I'm down.
Yeah, well, we talked about all these teams now. So Stanford, number 1 versus Wake Forest.
Stanford.
All right. Missouri State 5 versus Arkansas 4.
Pig Suey.
I gotta go Arkansas because they beat UConn.
Pig Suey.
I like it. Number 6 Georgia versus number 3. I'm sorry, number 3 Georgia versus number 6 Oregon.
Ugga.
Give me Oregon.
Ooh, Rob, decide.
Okay, I'm going to go with Ugga. 5-5 versus top 25 teams. Oregon's 1-6.
I don't hate it.
Yeah.
He's like, no. He's like, no, I don't hate
it. All right. Our next and the last part in that part of the bracket, the upset specials. The Cinderella is guaranteed to go on. Number 10 UCF versus number 15 Marist. Tone.
Give me Marist.
Yeah.
Cinderella is still dancing.
Well, one of them would be a Cinderella anyway, but foxes. Foxes are my favorite animal, by the way. So, talk about my favorite mascot in the tournament that isn't a husky. Move on to the next one.
See how he worked UConn into that too?
He did. That was actually pretty smooth, though.
Thank you. Number 1 South Carolina versus number 8 Oregon State.
Cocky the Gamecocks.
Yeah, give me the Gamecocks.
All right. Number 12 Stephen F versus Press Virginia. Johnny.
Press Virginia.
Stephen F. Austin.
Cinderella's still dancing, Rob. Up to you. Is Cinderella still at the ball? It's all up to Rob.
It is all up to me. All right. I love an underdog story. So I'm going to go with Stephen F. but this game better be like 85 to 83. Like it's gonna have to be fucking high ass scoring, I think, for Stephen F to be rolling.
It might.
I mean, if they just got to break it open,
Yeah.
That's at least my thought on it. Okay. But who knows? Well, first, they still got to get to the second round. So at this point, it's all hypotheticals. Number 6, Texas versus number 3, Ucla. Tone.
I'm going to go UCLA.
I'm going UCLA.
Wow. 2 in a row.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And our last one in that side of the bracket, number 10, North Carolina versus number 2, Maryland.
I'm going Maryland.
I'm also going Maryland.
91 points a game.
Yeah.
Lord. Okay. Riverwalk. We've got UConn versus South Dakota State. Johnny.
South Dakota State.
Yeah, not a chance in hell. UConn.
UConn. All right. Number 5, Iowa versus number 4, Kentucky. What do we got? I'm going to go with...
Give me Iowa.
I'm going to go with Iowa. Yeah.
Okay. In a shootout, because Iowa plays no defense. 80 points a game.
That's true, but they have the number 1 scoring player in the country. So
that's why. Just free scoring. Go get buckets. All right. Number 3, Tennessee versus our Cinderella story, number 11, FGCU. Johnny, are they going to continue to dance?
Even though she's a blonde, I love Cinderella here.
Dude, the notable wins for Tennessee are too good.
Yeah, they are. I mean, actually, to be completely honest with you, I have to go Tennessee here.
Yeah, you got to go Tennessee.
Yeah, the Tennessee apparently has not lost more than 1 game to anybody this year, of note anyway. All right, and number 2, Baylor versus number 7, Virginia Tech.
Got to go Baylor. They're a horse.
Yeah.
Tony? Yeah, Baylor.
And our last part of the bracket, NC State versus South Florida. We picking the homer, Johnny?
I'm going homer.
I'll go with you guys. I'll hop on.
Yeah.
The first number 1 seed out in the tournament, huh?
I mean, in every bracket, there's a 1 seed that goes out in the second round.
Yeah.
And, almost always.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. It's got to be a low scoring game, like the opposite of what I was saying before.
That game is the first one to the 42.
Right. Well, if NC State gets to 42 before, like 5 minutes left, then they might win. All right. So if USF is moving on, they're going to be playing a Cinderella because we picked Belmont 12 versus number 13 VCU. Tone, who's moving on here?
Give me VCU.
Yeah, I like VCU here.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Quality of wins for VCU.
I mean, I have honestly, either way is fine with me because I just think the team that comes off beating, well, I don't know. We'll see. We'll get there. VCU moves on. Number 6, Rutgers versus number 3, Arizona.
Okay. Hear me out real quick. It's going to be very quick. What's his name comes back to the football program. Forgot his name. Shiano comes back. Rutgers is now a real college again. The football team looks great. The men's basketball team makes the Sweet 16, and the women's team makes the Sweet 16. Give me Rutgers. Give me Rutgers. Give me Rutgers. Give me Rutgers.
Tone.
I'm going Rutgers too. I like it.
After all that shit about Arizona.
Hey.
Gotta cover me to Z, except for R through U.
Yeah. I mean, Rutgers is going to play. Rutgers is going to play hard. I mean,
that's fair.
It's a thing at colleges. When one team gets good, you have to follow suit. You have to.
I totally agree with all of that. It just, like I said, you guys played up Arizona to like this level, and then Rutgers. Nah, fuck Arizona. All right. Anyway.
Oh yeah.
And our last one. Number 2, Texas A&M versus Michigan State. Tone.
I hate to do it to you, Tom, but I got to ride with the horse here.
I mean, I was going to say, fuck Michigan State. We're going to Texas.
Yeah, I'm going A&M.
Strong.
Their notable wins are fucking ridiculous.
I agree. Okay. Let's talk about the Sweet 16 then. We've got quite a few Cinderellas in there. 3, I think, to be exact.
Yes.
Though Florida, South Florida also counts. So I'll say 4. But first part of the bracket, 1 versus 4. Stanford versus Arkansas. Are we getting an upset here, guys?
I think it's a very close, tight game. Stanford's most tested game of the year, and Stanford pulls it out by 3.
What do you think, Tone?
I'm going Arkansas.
Ooh.
I mean, their notable wins include wins over a 2 seed in this tournament, a 1 seed in this tournament, and another 2 seed in this tournament.
I don't hate it.
I'm going to go with Stanford here. I'm going to go Stanford here because they're 6-1 against top 25 teams. Arkansas, yes, 2 great wins, but 6 not great wins. 6 losses to top
That's
25.
Why I said this game will be very close.
I would agree with that. High scoring. I think it should be fairly high scoring. And I just 6-1 versus 2-6. I just don't see them holding up at this point in the tournament. So we're going to put Stanford through to the Elite Eight.
I don't hate it.
Thank you for everybody from the Iron Ostrich Network. This is Bracket Boys, brought to you by sponsor to be named later.
Whoever gives us money. All right. They're going to play the winner of number 3 Georgia versus Cinderella number 1, the Red Foxes of Marist.
The slipper's got to fall off sometime. I'm a realist. I always like to, pick it from my heart, but I'm also a realist. Give me Georgia. Georgia wins probably by 20.
Okay. So you're going to
especially with a week off to practice. Give me Georgia.
I'm saying that Marist rides the high and they win.
Wow.
Oh, that's so tempting. Oh my God, that's so tempting.
I mean, I don't hate it. I was trying to pick from my head, but I don't hate it, Rob. If you want to put it through, I know how much you love the Red Foxes, Leicester City, the Foxes, your favorite story, Little John. I'm just saying.
I mean it's always tempting when you see a team that hold other teams to so little points.
Especially the girls' game. Rob, go ahead and pick Marist so I don't have to and look like an idiot. But I want them to move on, so go ahead and pick them.
See, I really don't want. My head says really don't want to, but my heart's like, man, we got to pull the trigger on this. If we pull this shit off, we'll be the biggest Marist fucking podcast in the country.
I'm going Marist. Screw it, Rob. I'll take the pressure off of you. I'm going Marist.
So Tone doesn't watch the Spike College Football Show, but we hit up Coastal Carolina week 1. I mean, Johnny started it. We got on
before the season started.
Before the season started, week 1, we all got on the bandwagon, and we got.
I picked to go undefeated.
I mean, fuck.
Because
and guess what happened?
They went undefeated,
and we got some players on, and we got their mothers. Like it's.
I mean, I'm big Marist right here, man.
Okay, all right. Well, Johnny, I mean, I know you guys the hometown as well, so okay, we're gonna pick Cinderella through. Holy shit! All right. In the next bracket, we already got Cinderella. Number 1, South Carolina versus number 12, Stephen F.
South Carolina is okay. Georgia's a good team. South Carolina is a fucking freight train.
Yeah.
Give me South Carolina.
South Carolina.
So who's South Carolina going to play, though? The 2 seed Maryland or the 3 seed Ucla? I mean, we're going chalk here, right?
I mean, I'm going Maryland all the way.
Yeah, I'm going to go Maryland. They played more games, more experience. Give me Maryland.
Fair enough.
Maryland, yeah.
And they, I was just trying to see if anybody played South Carolina from the side. No, they did not. Makes sense. We'll go with Maryland. All right, Riverwalk.
Iowa
UConn versus Iowa.
Iowa.
Definitely going UConn on that one.
So we're not worried about UConn until they play Baylor, right?
I'm not worried about them. I think they're going to lose in the first round.
Well, there you go. Hell, if they do, I get it, Johnny. I will never doubt you again and your just visceral hatred of random teams. They're not random. I know. I have just as much visceral hatred for other teams. Okay. So on the other side, Tennessee versus Baylor. Now this is a little interesting, right? Because if Tennessee wins, we got this kind of classic Tennessee versus UConn match.
No, because Tennessee can't beat UConn, but Baylor can. Give me Baylor.
I mean, that is fair.
I'm actually going with Tennessee.
Rob, if you pick Tennessee because you don't think they could beat UConn, you can go fuck yourself.
Oh, man.
I just want to remind you that Tennessee beat Alabama, a 2 seed, by 26 points, and Arkansas, a 4 seed, by 15 points, and Arkansas beat UConn.
That is true. That is true. Wow.
Now he's gonna pick Baylor because now he thinks. See, Rob's all just picking on who can beat.
No.
By the way, also, we just mentioned that South Carolina's a dog in this tournament, and they split their series with them.
They did. I think it'll be a really, really good game. This will probably be the game of the tournament, at least up to this point. I mean,
think
there's no
so.
reason, like all the other matchups, yeah, but if Tennessee shows up, they're going to give Baylor the fight of their life. All right. I'm going to go with Tennessee, honestly, because I think they're a better team than Baylor. And they could, because of the teams they've played, they could actually beat UConn. Like, I would not be upset if you all said that Tennessee is going to beat UConn in the next round.
Well, I'm going to, so it doesn't matter.
I know you are, but when I say you all, I'm talking about tone.
And I'm on the fence right now.
So, because that is very true. I guess if Brittany Griner was still on Baylor's team, then I'd be like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're not playing Brittany Griner in any of those other games. But Baylor does. As far as I know, Baylor doesn't have that just presence in the paint.
No. Yeah, that's gonna be a good game. I really hope we get that matchup, to be honest with you.
Yeah, me too. All right. So speaking of which, Baylor beat South Florida by 5 points earlier this year, only by 5. So another reason why I was like, Baylor doesn't have any signature wins, but we have South Florida in the Sweet 16 in the Mercado side. They're playing
South Florida. Give me South Florida.
By the way, how come South Florida doesn't have lost to Baylor by 5 as a notable result?
I have no idea.
Because the NCAA sucks when it comes to women's stuff.
Just want to say that.
They hold their opponents under 55 points a game. Like you said, they only lost by 5 to a horse.
Which wasn't mentioned.
Give me USF.
All right. I like it. Honestly, I'd be surprised if VCU got that far, but either way, I think South Florida will be a tough out.
I'm rolling VCU in this one, but
damn, really liking the Richmond, Virginia.
Yeah.
Holy
yeah. They shoot the 3 really well.
Okay. Well, that's the thing is if South Florida is holding people to under 50 points again, they better if they actually stick to what they're good at, they're able to shut it down, then VCU falls apart. So it is a live by the 3, die by the 3 situation.
Who goes on there?
Yeah.
USF. I'm a homer. Get out of here. We live 30 minutes away from Tampa. Like I'm not picking over a 13 seed. If South Florida gets this far, this would be by far the best that I think South Florida has done in basketball in either side. I don't think they've ever made Elite 8 or great.
They made it 16 as a guy. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, we have them beating a number 1 seed and and Washington State. So, I mean, yeah, no, I actually, I like it. We'll take it. I mean, why not beat a team that are only known for football other than DC?
So the last matchup, Rutgers, number 6, riding high versus number 2, Texas A&M.
I really, really want to keep Rutgers rolling, but I'm also very, very smart, and I'm going with A&M and the horse.
Yeah. I like how he worked in there his own brag. There was no reason to do. You're getting on me for UConn, but you worked in yet another brag.
Humble brag.
It wasn't even humble.
I don't hate it.
Didn't do anything. All right. Yeah, no, Texas A&M. Another reason why I'm getting USF in there to play Texas A&M, Okay. So here we go. We've got 3 number 1s, 2 number 2s, and the number 3 in the Great 8. And the rest
which is pretty much what it should be, to be honest with you.
True. We actually have, we have
all the hijinks that we've done and all the crazy upsets we might have picked. Like I said, this is how brackets end up.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So the biggest Cinderella of them all, the 15 seed Marist.
All right, I will not take it anymore. Cinderella's done. We love her. She's dead. Stanford.
I'm going to make it real hard on Rob. I'm taking Marist.
Oh come on.
Now you're going to make me pick Marist again. No, I'm standing firm, and I'm going with my head and not my heart this time. I'm standing with Stanford.
I hate it. I hate it so much. Fucking tone.
I'm not switching my pick this time around. This is all on you.
Jesus Christ. So I don't know enough about Marist. So Marist, I believe, do they have like a Sister Mary?
Yes, I will give you one thing. I haven't watched any of their games this year. I think I watched maybe 5 minutes of a game. They usually bury fucking threes. They usually have 3 girls on the wings that can bury threes.
I mean,
that's all I'm saying.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
That's how Marist girls play. I had one of the girls from actually Tri-Valley go to Marist, and she was a fucking stud, and she sat the bench. That's how, and she scored 35 points a game in high school.
I hate you.
But both. I'm picking Stanford. Don't make me. Stop.
I know. That's why I hate you both. Stop talking me into picking the 15 seed into the goddamn Final Four, and then be like, "Well, I'm sticking with Stanford."
I'm just gonna go down, and this is the Marist team. Just their names: Allie Best. That sounds like a winner. Emma Wax. Trinasia Kennedy. These girls are they sound like ballers.
Oh, and they're probably got ballers from the city, which they usually have a point guard from the city that plays street ball, did with the guys, and is amazing. So Rob, go ahead and pick Marist, so I don't have to.
Ooh.
I'm just saying.
Like
it. You know what? Whatever. Marist, fine. Fuck it.
Oh, you know what? I like their chemistry too. They got 2 girls from the same high school that are the same age.
What high school is it? I probably know it.
Seton Catholic Prep in Chandler, Arizona. They got 2 girls from Chandler, Arizona to play on a fucking New York team. That tells you.
Upstate New York.
Boom.
I love them as a Cinderella. Final Four Cinderella, I'll go with it. Fuck it. But I'm not. My heart believes it. My head's just being like, you're a fucking idiot. And I will say that to both of you after you talk me into this shit.
How close are you guys to Clearwater, Florida?
35 minutes.
Okay, they got a girl from Clearwater, Florida on the team. Freshman, 5'10".
Fuck it, I'm picking Marist too. You don't. Why you do? You just keep like I can be bought.
By the way, if Marist goes to the fucking
put a fucking fox in the title,
if Marist goes to the fucking Final Four, we look like geniuses.
We are absolutely.
That's true. That's true. As this shit goes on, we'll be doing follow-ups, and
we'll be our own bracketology.
If Marist gets out of the first round, we are going to be all over this shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're going to be playing the winner of South Carolina versus Maryland.
I'm riding the horse that I've been riding the whole time. I'm not getting off of the horse. I'm staying on the horse. Give me South Carolina.
Someone just here to fuck up my life, isn't he?
I like this. This is fun. So whenever you want to come on and do college football with us too, bud, it's really good to fuck with Rob because it's great.
I can't go against Maryland. I'm going Maryland.
Wow. All right. I'm going to say South Carolina, 59.3 points allowed per game. This is where they shut down Maryland's 91 points per game, scoring enough. It's not going to be under 60, but it's going to be like 75. And right there, South Carolina averages 77 a game. So that's what I'm calling because I can't. I already did Marist. I'm not fucking doing this. Like, hell no. All right. UConn versus Tennessee. Marquee matchup.
Tennessee.
Tone.
UConn.
Okay. Here's what I'm going to say. When the game is on the line, UConn's going to give the ball to their freshman star.
Who will choke.
And that's the thing, is that I believe she will not. But if she does, then obviously that's where it's going to be make or break. Everybody knows this. 18 years old. She's either going to fucking make it happen.
Too busy on TikTok to give a fuck about basketball, bro. I'm sorry. I just hate fucking with a passion.
I know. But she happens to be wearing a UConn uniform, and I think that she buries it.
By the way, notable wins for UConn. A 6-point win at Tennessee this year.
At Tennessee, yes. They didn't even list that in Tennessee stuff. They didn't say listed that they lost to UConn earlier this year. But
yeah.
All right.
That's propaganda. Hitler did that.
It is. It absolutely is.
Hitler used propaganda. Rob, do you want to be? I mean, you and the H-Man hang out together. He used a lot of propaganda.
Here's what I'll tell you. So my understanding is that all the UConn greats are like, wow, this chick is just really, really good. And I know one of them that talked her up is someone I got to meet in person a couple times, Jen Rosadi. So
now we're just throwing names out. Okay, that's
well,
cool.
I mean, he's talking. He had his Rebecca Lobo story. I told you I had a story.
Humble brag. It's fine. Whatever.
No, I told you I had a story. I grew up in Connecticut, and Jen Rosadi coached. She basically started the women's program at Hartford. So I got to meet Jen Rosadi. Baller.
I mean,
she's like, this girl's the real deal. I'm on board.
I mean, I just want to go through some of the list of the things that UConn women basketball alumni have done this year. They got a man out of prison. They purchased a WNBA team. I mean, and they also own a fan-controlled football team. I mean,
I everything about everything you just said.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Mostly because you want to have the fan-controlled football team too. Right?
That was literally the biggest reason.
He's jealous now.
Yeah.
All right. Texas A&M number 2 versus South Florida. Are we picking?
Right. No more Cinderella. Texas A&M.
Yeah, Texas A&M is the shit. I don't know how they're underrated. At a 2 seed.
Are we really Marist in the fucking Final Four?
God. So South Carolina versus
Welcome
Marist.
to Bracket Boys Final Four. First time ever for Tone being in one of our Final Fours. It usually gets a little loopy the whole time. Usually it squares itself out, but this time it got way out of control. And somehow we have
Tone made it worse.
Time that we've ever had a 15 seed in any bracket that we've ever done.
Ever.
In the Final Four. And we've done a bunch of brackets that you'll be hearing later that have come out. They make runs, Sweet 16, maybe Elite 8.
Yeah, we had a 16 seed upset the number 1 overall pick, but that was a Disney movie, so.
This is absurd, and I kind of love it.
I love it.
All right, come on. But let South Carolina versus Marist. Tone, you have to go first. Johnny, don't say anything. Just Tone.
Don't let Marist get hot.
Oh my God.
No, South Carolina.
Yeah, South Carolina, Rob.
Oh, fuck. All right. Now the actual hard question. UConn versus Texas A&M. What are we doing here, guys? I'm voting UConn, obviously.
I'm voting A&M. Now it's all on you, Tone.
Yeah,
this is revenge for Marist.
This is the... All right. Let's talk through this one real quick. Okay. UConn beat South Carolina, who we just put into the final game. They beat Tennessee. They beat Arkansas. They beat Villanova. They've lost 1 game all season. They're scoring 82 points per game, only giving up 50.5 points per game.
Everything you just said, South Carolina did too.
True.
Beat Tennessee.
Texas A&M beat South Carolina by 8 points. Tennessee by 10 points.
Which is more points.
I know. I gotta go Texas A&M.
That's a good fucking pick. That's a good fucking pick.
That's fine. You know what? That would not upset me because Texas A&M is a really fucking good team.
Yeah.
So I know they were trying to set up the South Carolina UConn challenge, but again, you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. So if UConn's going to show up and they've got, the freshman wants to be the greatest of all time, Paige Buckets has got to go through Texas A&M. And I don't know. True. I'm okay with saying that she doesn't make it that far on her alone, but maybe the rest of the team will pick her up. I don't know.
By the way, they got like the top 3 recruits for next year too. So.
Of course they do, because they're the Alabama of the women's basketball world.
All right, guys, an all SEC final, just like we had an all Big Ten final in our men's, Rob, with Illinois and Iowa. Now we have
hopefully they survive.
SEC schools, South Carolina and A&M. I'll be making my first pick. I'm going to take South Carolina 76, Texas A&M 71.
Ooh. All right. I guess I'll go second then. So I'm going to say, okay. So I'm trying to figure out the score. I will go with 76-71 as well, but I will flip it. I will say that Texas A&M will prevail over South Carolina.
Well, we have. Okay, now this is where it comes down to. The score is going to be 76-71. Who's going to win, Tom?
I don't think it's going to be 76-71.
A blowout?
It's going to be 73-74.
Wow.
Okay, I like it. I almost did that. I almost picked their exact scores too. I almost did that.
Texas A&M wins on a last-second shot.
Wow. That's our final. A&M. We have a winner.
That's what we're going with. We have a winner.
Yeah.
A&M. For everybody that came.
By the way, hell of a run by Marist.
Up for Marist.
Like I said, if Marist wins their first round, we are going to be blowing up social media. We're going to be putting up clips. We're going to be sending them to fucking Marist submission. Be like, did you see us?
By the way, I'm late to the show, but I also have to text it.
Yes, indeed.
A&M.
So,
guys, how is your everybody happy with their bracket experience? Everybody
that was fun.
Bracket.
That was fun.
It was a blast. So, and thanks for hanging out with us, man.
I'm gonna go buy a Marist t-shirt like right now.
Actually, I think my buddy works at the school. I think I can have him.
I'm sure. We'll make sure to hook us up, Johnny. If you can, hook us up before Sunday. We want to at least say that we ordered our shirts.
Yeah,
I'll do that. And just so we know, that was a great. Usually the brackets are a little more fun. Usually a little more out of control. But this actually got
more
this was out a serious bracket. And usually our brackets are best rock songs or best fast food. No, this was our serious bracket. And somehow a 15 gets to the final four.
I mean, we talked it out. I think that was.
But I think we did it. That's what I'm saying. We literally convinced ourselves that that's actually going to happen. Yeah. And I don't see it going any other way.
No. Texas A&M for sure winning. Marist making a Final Four appearance.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
I mean,
the only thing that's going to change is UConn's going to lose in the first round. But other than that, I agree with absolutely everything.
Oh, God. So, like I said, what I really expected, I was really hoping is that by bringing in the expert, by bringing in Tone, we would be like kept grounded because Johnny's just like, I don't know, I'll pick it because I like the mascot, I like the colors, I like their football team, like whatever. I don't have any basis to guess stuff. And he's the one trying to be like, no, Cinderella stops here. And Tone's like, send it, fucking full send.
No, he said, no, don't let Marist get hot.
Dude, I thought about it. I thought about it.
The night.
I love it. I love
make noise in this tournament. Don't let Marist get hot.
Dude, I'm tuning in. I'm tuning into every Marist game.
So this has been the women's Bracket Boys official tournament with my co-host Rob and our guest star Tone from the Iron Ostrich Network. Thanks everybody for listening. Rob, any closing thoughts?
Well, so Tone, obviously, this is not his first rodeo. We need to pull him off the street. Tone, shout out your shows as well, so that we know to check out all those as well, because obviously it's a blast having you on. But you're not in a vacuum. You do a lot of good work on your own.
No, yeah, I do a lot of stuff. But for the Iron Ostrich Network, I also host a podcast called Off the Rails with my buddy Jims. You can catch that. I also kind of I was a brainchild, and actually we might as well just make this a thing right here. So I'm kind of the person who thought of Who Shows It Anyway, which is a show where we put two people from the Iron Ostrich Network, and we put everybody to a randomizer. Two people get pulled out, and then everybody else throws a topic in, and then that topic gets randomized. And I'm officially asking you guys to join the pool weekly if you guys want to.
Throw me in, man.
All right.
I'm in. That's awesome. I would love to do it. I love the concept. I love the show. I think it's fantastic, actually.
Yeah, we just released the paranormal episode. We're 6 episodes in. All of them are great. So
nice.
Thanks for joining us up here. So we appreciate you coming on and giving us your expertise and showing us what you're all about. We like
definitely. Go Marist.
Go Marist.
I should have known better. I should have, for a guy who runs a show called Off the Rails, I should have fucking known that he was not going to keep us grounded. God damn it.
Good job, Rob. Way to do your research yet again.
Thanks for joining us. And for us, at least from Spike, we always tell everybody to keep fucking spiking it. So if you want to do that with us, Stone, you absolutely can.
Hell yeah.
Keep spiking it.
Keep spiking it.
Boom.